It's not going to be that long. It's I did my best. Let's change to North American colors. Out of respect. Oh, keep it purple. Let me get that VOD uploaded for loyal, hardworking mods. Versus Pro versus Wish Dude. Mans. And it ends on a positive note where we boost quartz. Oh, Steve asked, does this mean if we'll eventually get PvE? I don't know. I feel like Stadium is like the halfway house, you know? It's like dipping their toes into a bit. Be maybe as close as they get. It's an interesting mode though, right? Like, always better to have more ways to play. Oh. Do you have any Overwatch League tokens? You come in here begging, Turlens? Come on. Isn't Stadium just like the Marvel Rivals mode? I don't know the Marvel Rivals mode. And to be honest, I don't super understand how it works, but cool stuff. Buy some perks, counter the other team, etc. It's like a MOBA mode. Oh, okay. I mean, that's pretty cool. Closer to Deadlock then, yeah. That's what you're saying. Do you think perks will mitigate, aggravate, or do nothing for the difference between top and bottom teams? I think eventually, no. The better teams will still be the better teams. But I think the first weekend, next weekend, maybe even the second weekend, because there's so many changes, it'll be volatile. There'll be a lot of change. Maybe we'll see more upsets next week as a result of this, you know? I think that'll be true for the first couple of weeks, but I think long term, everything will sort itself out again, right? Like, same as when a new hero comes out or a new comp or something new becomes meta. You sort of get in this period of volatility, and then it kind of just settles down again, you know? So I think we'll see a pretty similar situation in all of this. Where am I going? Let me check something. All right, I'm with you. The real question to me is, will Shu choose the Ana perk to headshot people with a self-nano perk? I mean, it has to be the self-nano perk, right? I feel like it has to be. But, won't perks encourage you to shoot tanks a lot more just to farm your perks as soon as possible? Yeah, I think there's a possibility that, like, it slows it down quite a lot. Does anyone know? I don't know if any of the streamers sort of tested or talked about this when they got the chance to play it over in LA. But you know how ultimates charge different rates for different heroes, right? So, like, maybe Pharah or something like high damage heroes, it takes a bit longer. Is that true with perks as well? Or, you know, like, do you get it slower if you're like a high damage? Yeah, someone asked Gooshway for me. Yeah, so if you're like a higher damage hero, you have to get like to a higher, you have to do more damage. They said it is that way. Okay, that makes sense then. That seems reasonable. Perks make the game less comebackable. I mean, what you might see, because this is true, if anyone's watched any MOBAs or anything like that, like Dota, League of Legends, Pokemon Unite, love Pokemon Unite, always throw that one in there. I think you might get like perk push timings, if you know what I mean. You know, like in the first fight on like push or control, where people are pressing tab and we're like, we have beat 10% faster because our Lucio's name is Violet. Let's push with a really aggressive beat timing, try and catch them before they get it. You might get perk push timings, like, hey, once we hit this perk, once we all have our first perks, let's push on that because we have that advantage or something. So maybe that would be like a kind of an obvious use case. But yeah. Anyway, let's lock in for a bit of Overwatch, shall we? North America. I don't know what it is, Conman, so I'm going to go with no. Thank you, Greedeston, for the prime. We're into this first fight right now. A Malga ban from Nightmare here onto Shikigami. So this is probably going to be looking like a bit of a mismatch as well here. I think the most impressive part of Nightmare is been their backline, honestly. I think UV and Admiral have been the part. Zero's going to get an opening pick right now. Helps protect UV on that one. Just follows that venture and gets the punish. Thank you. I'm going to say it wrong.
Don't push, let me hit this
Iggy?
a crazy call.
Don't push, let me hit this perk. Keep it perky. Another Pokemon game? Oh no. Noah's probably going to be the answer for that. Oh, alright, I'm trying to lock in. So this is a mismatch. UV and Admiral, I think, have been the most impressive part of Nightmare so far. Overall, though, Nightmare looks good. A little bit of word on the street as well. Is Nightmare maybe the best team in scrims at the moment? Looking very good. Gonna swing out aggressively through this choke right now. Kufa's gonna catch Danny again. Danny gets caught early at the start of the fight here, and it's just gonna be a difficult situation. Play it down, and it just seemed nice and easy. Full beam sim will get taken out of this one. Zero all over this Kiri. Zero just racking up all the kills. We'll get a late-ish one on solo. Everything gone down before any range of ultimates right now. Are we gonna see any swaps? Just clear get playtime. Not seen him play so far. Kufa's been good for it, though. Pretty much everything we've seen him on, I think. Oh, Nano early in onto Zero. Has the blade as well. And, well, Nano blade in a tiny room. Bad time to run into a cybercharged Genji with an electric sword. Fuck me. Not my best work. We'll kill Graveyard as well, and it very much seems straightforward for Nightmare. They did invest 2 for nothing, though, so there is an ult advantage for Shikigami coming back. But they're fighting early Nightmare. Nova at an ult disadvantage, trying to make it difficult. And Zero is just doing whatever he wants right now. Beat push and Kitsune Rush come out in response. Admiral will try and beat back in there, but Zero's going to get caught. Annihilation to try and turn it from Kufa. He's committing in deep. A little bit low still, Kufa, but he is getting a bit of pocket as they come through. Annihilation comes out from Solo, but Lethal was behind with the execution. Lethal will slide back behind that shield, even catches Danny again. And everything, it's all Nightmare. Yeah, I know, right, Zahar? I know. Just like, my brain working overtime to think of relevant words. It's alright. I might chill a little bit for this one, because I feel like this is going to be a pretty substantial mismatch here. And then we can rank up for maybe it's the last game in North America today that I think is the most interesting. Surely we get a scrim stream? I think, unfortunately, no chance, Arthur. We're just going to have to wait for Friday. We'll get a little bit of a preview, right, with Japan and Pacific, but we'll wait for Friday for the big reveal, I guess. Do you think the Nano perk, they should target herself? Maybe, yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those where so many changes come into play, we're just going to have to wait and see what feels broken. Kufa going Doomfist. Has enjoyed playing this hero quite a lot. Does need to cop a defensive nade just to stay alive there right now. And Lethal was actually one who gets caught first as they come out. Sim TP onto this Pharah right now. Zero, though, for the most part, will be relatively unchallenged by this Shikigami comp and should be able to get a lot of value. Wants to try and interrupt these TPs, lots of farm damage, make the rotations hard. You can see Kufa trying to do the same thing here, just trying to pick up a power punch. Doomfist's perks, while we're on the perk topic, might actually give him a lot of value if he can start getting power punches of seismic slams. But for now, though, it's actually Drunk. Similar. Drunk, who is actually getting all these opening picks, got one in the early fight, gets that one there onto UV as well, and that provides Shikigami with a bit of respite. Gonna make me sit up in my chair. Why is Danny playing for Shikigami? Documents research. He's in the lab right now. He's studying. Zero's gonna start challenging points a little bit right now with the help of Admiral. Forcing that point, trying to bait someone down to the low ground. Shikigami's comp not as good at dealing with that, and Zero's gonna take down Drunk as he drops to that point. Now Lethal's got space on the other side, and now we see classic pincer theory coming out from Nightmare. They forced a point on one side. Zero pulls attention, pulls resources from Shikigami, and then Lethal, who wanted to walk out top. Normally a very difficult choke to walk out against the type of comp Shikigami have. Slow on the choke, all on the choke, etc. But because they pull resources to point first, that gives Lethal the ability to swing wide. And once Lethal has that ability to swing wide, he's just going to take over. Don't need to ask him twice. Lethal, a very proactive player, a very aggressive player. Power punch early on right now, looking for the sim. Lamp is going to be forced early. Barrage over top is cancelled by that Javelin, but it was a nano barrage, and Zera's still got the nano to keep going. So the Javelin does not change the outcome. Going to be late kills here on Sevilla Orisa. Nice early fight for Nightmare. If you watch my coach's review video with Chris Tiefo, where he talks about coaching dive, you'll know about the concept of cycles. And cycles is basically if you have a dive team, you want to find multiple times to hit him. Your first time you hit him, you may be forced cooldowns, like that lamp. Second time you hit him, now they don't know if a lamp could be more crucial. Now we get the lamp and the beat out here if you're Shikigami. Meteor Strike from Kufa on a sliver of HP will take some of that healing. And now the second cycle, they try and TP away. They do mostly TP away, actually. Now they are on point, but another power punch and the overclock there with it as well. And again, it's not the first cycle they die on, it is the second cycle. Beat over the top from Admiral. Maybe overkill in the end, but Shikigami poured ults into that one as well, so it's really not too bad. But Nightmare are out of ults. We'll go for an early fight again, try and make it hard. Boop there used by Zera, so maybe they can do a TP rotation now. It's a Sombra swap coming out from Drunk as well. TP free, trying to hunt them down right now. Drunk is behind. It's a symbol out, but the damage is done before the symbol comes out. Oh, I feel like I really would have liked to TP towards point with that symbol right now, rather than trying to push out of here. I mean, I know Nightmare were making a difficult fight in close. And now UV nearly has another nano, and this touch is going to be beyond difficult. Beyond difficult. Graveyard is there. Has anyone even gone past? No DPS. I think, unless Regime's got it. Regime has not got it. And a dominant one from Nightmare. All right. Are we going to speedrun all of OWCS today? Oh, no, yeah, you're thinking of phone on Amplify. We'll see them later against Team Liquid. You missed most of this. On any signs of life? I'm sad to report, Juby, there have been no survivors reported. Why is NA even more top-heavy than EU? I think in large part money, right? More investment in EMEA, because not only do we have the 3 partner teams, we have, well, 3 versus 2 partner teams, but we also have a gap there where EMEA has teams like Alcancir and the Ultimates also investing. So there's essentially 5 full-paid rosters. Well, 6 actually if you include Vision as well, right? That's for word on the street, Duck Game, and that's for word on the street. I don't think it's by like any colossal margin, but word on the street is Nightmare are looking like one of the better teams in scrims right now. They have to, yeah. I mean, this is like what's the opposite of delayed gratification? Just immediate gratification. We got immediate gratification on week 1 of OWCS. Everybody cheered, drops, all of this. And now, unfortunately, we're just left with a lot of lopsided fixtures, you know? Would have much rather seen them spaced out a little bit more, so we got, like, maybe a good game or a goodish game almost every day. That's what it feels like it happens in Korea, right? But... are Peps salaried or just paid bits? No, I don't think they're salaried, no. Post-orgasm torture. That's one way to position it. Whoa. Way also has, yeah, Way coming out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, really impressive by Way. Getting into the seeding tournament, securing that spot in playoffs. Maybe they, I mean, it's a tough, I mean, their opponents in the seeding tournament are going to be Zeta Division, Crazy Raccoon, and Falcons. So not the easiest for Way. I mean, they have beaten Falcons already. But it's a tough run there, but I think more than happy More than happy to be in that seeding tournament. Saw them all celebrate afterwards as well. Do shit teams always pick push so they can lose quicker? I don't know. I don't know. My gut tells me no. Alright, Shikigami going to ban the Ana here. Seems reasonable enough, I guess, because UV has been running that Ana and causing all sorts of problems in this. Nightmare are going to ban Sim, and Shikigami do still seem to be leaning into the Sim quite a lot in these situations here. Expect from honestly, from Nightmare, we might just see more of the same. I mean, I don't know if the Doom comp really functions, or it's just quite as scary with like the Kiriko version versus the Ana. I don't know if the Ana is actually quite a big part of it. So, a full push can't be this likely, 87%. It might be. It might be. Jimmy being exposed. Have you seen the meme with Aaron Kendrick Keller? I have not, Spilo. Me and Aaron aren't best friends like you guys are. I'm not on the inner circle. Oh, is this it, Yoshim? Let's see. If it's a Kendrick Lamar joke, I might have to, I might need some help from the... Perks! I actually watched this halftime show. I think I'm getting it. Right, I should stop that. 100% I'm getting DMCA'd for that as well. God damn it, Kendrick. Is that not Kendrick's song? I'm gonna need one of the resident experts here. Oh, that's Future. Oh, who I infer is another rapper, right? Right? I can use the context clues here. All right. Alright, actually Kufa's gonna die first here, so once again Shikigami are baiting me into sitting up in my chair. Thank you, Spilo.
Your whiteness is showing, buddy.
I mean, I can't help it, Spilo. I can't help it. And I think any attempt to cover my whiteness will probably only lead to bigger problems down the line. So I'm gonna avoid it for now. Some people will get it. Alright. Lock in. I'm locking in. You're right. Shikigami want to fight. I should lock in. Thank you, Popple, for keeping me on track. I actually need constant babysitting and attention to keep myself focused. The internet has ruined my brain. B push out from Regime. 25% advantage over Admiral, so they have a chance to recover. Is getting blitzed by this Orisa right now. No form, but overheating is solo. Graveyard will finish the job. They lose Danny. Positive trade still for Shikigami right now, but UV is in the back and Lethal is in the back and everything's getting busted open right now. Solo's going to walk up for the trade, but Zera, Lethal and UV with that swing onto high ground. Really aggressive trade there, and Kufa's going to make his swap over onto the Sigma here, which is a really go-to counter of the Orisa, mainly because while the Orisa likes to do a spin into a fortify, into a spin, you know how Orisa works. What the Sigma can do is with the Sigma rocks, if the rock's going to connect, the Orisa has to fortify much earlier than she wants to. And this really allows you to win the neutral in lots of situations here against the Orisa. Zera now positioning up on his left-hand side, looking to cut someone as they rotate top. Has the blade for it as well. Suzu has been forced. Danny is right there for it. Dashes in and misses, actually. Coming back to the blade to try and find more value. Terror Surge came out right now from Solo. Trace, one for it. Admiral goes down with beat. Couldn't use that one. Locked in. Zera's going to dive in for more. Trace dash out. Needs Pocket, though. Pocket is there from UV. Lethal uses the Bob to buy time. Torpedoes do it. Zera, Lethal, and UV. This combo, deadly with it right now. Great bob from Lethal. Actually saves the day for Zero there. Perfect pocket from UV to get him out of that one. Two ults max here approximately. Oh, so it's quite slow to grind the perks then as well, actually. That's interesting. Alright, Winston swap now. Go to counter really versus the Sigma in a lot of situations. What Nightmare need to do now is be careful they don't get their formation split. It's a beat push countered by Mountain Core and an overclock from Danny. And Danny is in beyond belief with that one. So aggressive with it, and it doesn't pay off at all. Dennis! Come on! Standing on his own dynamite. Alright. Kufa with the Flux. UV with the Ray. Lethal will be back soon. Try not to set himself on fire on this occasion. Oh, Kufa just gets caught though. This is the power of the Winston versus the Sigma. The bubble separates the heals. Sigma a little bit tricky to get out of that quickly. If you can find that separation, you can actually play through the Sigma a lot on these engages just for Winston. You don't just need to do that. A sort of classic dive hit backline situation. Pushing it back to middle. Contain him out the choke. Might even catch Zera here as well. But it's a little bit sloppy from Nightmare in some of these situations. Getting themselves staggered out. That's actually just going to be cap, I think, for Shikigami. They'll get the checkpoint. They're hunting Lethal down. Oh, they're trapped in here. And there's really no way out. Yeah, just going to accept their fate. More stagger kills for Shikigami. Definitely getting checkpoint. Now a big ult fight coming up. UV has Ray. I think if I'm solo with this one, I'm really scared of the Ray B. I think I want to use the Primal to make this Ray hard. And maybe just to try and force this Blade into a difficult situation. Danny catches Admiral here, and Zero is priming a whole lot of nothing. Regime's beat does its job to deal with that. Zero keeps going, though. Danny needs help. No peel for that one. Zero actually chooses safety right now. Regroup with the team. Solo's going to jump out as well. Both teams just trying to reset right now. Trying to take the long way out. His Graveyard gets the Suzu just in time. Can't get up to the TP, though. Main source of healing gone. Drunkle falls. Solo is low. Don't think they can catch him here, so Solo will regroup with his team, pick up his supports and his Genji, have another crack. And now... Blade coming back for Drunk. Admiral has the perfect answer with this beat, though, and Zera is just there again. Suzu has been forced early. Danny with the trade, though! And now... Oh, wait, Solo's been traded right back, so... Just a game of picks right now. Danny's going to rotate to the left. The Blade comes out from Drunk, but we are slashing at nothing. We forced the beat. It was only a 3-person beat, but it beated the people who needed it. And sometimes that's all you need. Lethal right now. Oh, gives him the wall lick. The client strafe fakes him out. Lethal in his head. Expert movement there from Lethal. Lethal is a body language expert for those who didn't know. And now Nightmare looking to extend their lead. 101 meters on the board already. Lethal has the Bob ready to go. Danny has the overclock. Bob to start the fight behind him. Bubble has been forced. This might force a disengage from Shikigami, but Danny's going to walk out, look for more. Walks out straight into a Tracer. Danny slides aggressively as well. No fear, young Daniel, but maybe he should have fear because now he's massively outnumbered. Rock in the face. Doesn't find the value they need out of that, and now threatening a full cap Nightmare. They have the Wraith, the push, they have the Flux too, but Shikigami, double support ult. Should be enough to overwhelm it. TP back to spawn for Graveyard. There is a Dynamite in there as well. Graveyard will be back to full HP, and they have these support ults to come out with here. If I'm Kufa, I might even Flux as soon as I get it right now. Ray is going to be used first, though. Kitsune Russian Exchange. Regime still has the beat. Trying to save it for that Flux, but Kufa doesn't quite have it yet. Kufa has it now. Close to Primal. It's a beat push, actually. Kufa's going to try and Flux his way. Try and catch some of this aggression from the beat push. Will catch Velucio. Might be able to kill Velucio here. Oh, doesn't quite kill Velucio, actually. He's just going to stand up a spawn door, catches Drunk, though. And Kufa is spawn camping them, but it's a bit of a dogfight behind, actually. So they're not capping the payload while this is happening. The robot is, in fact, walking away. And Kufa is going to get a little bit of aim practice. Looks like he might need it as well. Kufa's going to be forced back to regroup with his team right now. Going to get bubbled off, but is getting... Oh, they're trying to taxi him out of there, but it's actually just too much damage. But respawn's too strong, and Kufra will die very staggered there. So they keep themselves alive in this map. Shikigami, 135 meters conceded, with 2 minutes left on the clock. Primal available for solo, but might be hard to get a kill with this. Might be a situation where he has to go in with the primal, maybe try and force the beat and live, and then play the fight from there with the next wave of ultimates coming up. He's on solo right now. Zero also has this pulse bomb. Looking for one. Rico has been forced though, so Zero can't pulse right now. Slide in from... Oh, he's sliding away from it. Beat to save Lethal as that primal comes in. Solo needs to make sure he lives right now. Keeping eyes on Danny behind his Zero right now. Playing around the mini. Danny. It's a Tracer v Tracer situation. Solo has died during all of this. Another recall comes out. Pulse bomb on the recall, but it's wide. And oh, he gives him a gap anyway, Danny. Doesn't even need the pulse bomb. He has won his one-on-one, but unfortunately... the rest of his team have struggled a bit more. They're still moving the payload forward, but there's only 3 of them. Lethal's going to slide onto Regime. Tracer on the back now on UV. UV needs help. Lethal needs help, and there's no one to help UV. They will get cleaned up as a result. 1 minute left on the clock now. Another chance for Shikigami. Zero and Danny just seem to be locked in this 1v1 on the flank. Kitsune Rush available for Graveyard Beat, nearly available for Regime as well. Again, a sort of double support situation versus his Ray keeps coming up. Pulse bomb for Zero this time, looking for something valuable. Can't find it. Burns for recall before he gets stuck in there. UV's actually, they're actually focusing him down. If they might catch the Echo, yeah, it's an easy one for Zero. Drunk gets left behind. Long walk home for him as the Kitsune Rush comes out on point. Solo is there too. They've cleared it out, but UV still has his Ray to go. They're trying to push Kufa back. He's awfully low. They have the Ray to turn. Need to direct his towards point if they go. Suzu has been forced. Pulse bomb is out. Don't even need the Ray in the end. They're going to go pick up point. Regime has to try and play his life if he can. Zero making sure they clean everything up. They are good for it now. Will be one more attempt for Shikigami. Beat coming back. Copy coming back. Really tough fight. It's going to be a beat push from Regime. Aggressively out. They have jumped mostly to point though, so no key targets. There's a Ray going behind it. They're ignoring the Ray. They're coming back to fight point as well. Both support ults for not a lot. Now a dive onto Lethal. Downpour's going to come out. Looks like it catches nothing. It's a Juno copy. Lethal is shooting it up in the air. Torpedoes will go. Lethal takes him out of the air. Lethal takes Danny out of the ground as well. Beat for Admiral. Only catches 3 again, but sometimes it's enough, you know? A Nightmare closeout map number 2. No full push. Held on. Held on. I guess a full push wasn't that likely in the end, huh? Oh. Alright. Few highlight moments in there. Painkiller padding his points before his big match. Should you not be warming up, Painkiller? Getting a little side hustle going. Like right now? Okay. I hope it's going well. Boots coming out for Painkiller. Alright. You know when you're full, but there's more food to eat, so you're kind of tempted to eat the food even though you don't need it. I'm gonna be respectful to my body and not force food down it. Full push seems so hard. Yeah, I mean, I think as well what happens here, you know, like this fight that we're seeing on screen right now, or just that Sigma clip from Kufa, they also sort of start taking it a little bit less seriously as well, right? They're just like, it's kind of one, but because it's kind of one, big slow-mo on that one. But because it's kind of one, they're just like, oh, whatever. Like, Kufa's just standing at the spawn door trying to spawn kill him, you know? They're almost not taking the fight properly because they know it's all but over, and end up not actually getting it over the line. Yeah, exactly. No idea. Yeah. All right. Ooh. You've created a bingo card? Let's see it then. Surely I'm not that predictable. Let's see. Some sort of Diet Coke. That's a freebie. Unto moaning loudly. That one's actually a freebie. Random TF2 story. That's a freebie. Casting in between mouthfuls of food. That's an Unter thing. I don't think I do that. I think that's Unter. He just has... He's Australian, guys. He has no manners. Always speaking with his mouth full, that man. Anything theory. That's hard. Situation. Looking up for no apparent reason. I've got a third monitor. I've got a third monitor. Reasonable. Yeah. I think the Alcancia pronunciation is I think that one's really hard to get. What have we had so far? Some of these are interdependent. There's a joke in there. There's a joke in there where I realise there's a chance for some comedy, but I'm not smart enough to write the joke myself. I need a better writing team. Big fan of these alternate predictions on one-sided matches. The value bet. It's out. The more I think about it, I can't do it. If I say Alcancia. Alcancia, I think, is right. Honestly, this spread completely hinges on if Nightmare take the game seriously. You guys can't... The problem with the bingo is you guys have just bait me into this. You guys have just bait me into a TF2 story, and I need so little baiting. What map is it? Well, I minimized it. I think, was it Saravasa? Yeah, Saravasa. So we're hitting a bit of Flashpoint. Oh. Fuck. Getting... I don't know. I presume other people with glasses get this as well. You know, it just feels like you've worn your glasses too long and they just can't quite sit comfortably. Instead of that, what about eating cheese? I just talked about not filling my body with stuff it doesn't need to, you know? Add its power rankings. Let's not add that to the bingo card. That's going to be, Have you seen Chirkmate ranked? Yeah. Can you tell me a TF2 story? That's too obvious, you know? You need to, like, bait me in with, like, a more... You need to have, like, half a specific situation. Fuck. I feel like I don't give a fuck as much anymore. What are my other go-to phrases? I feel like because me and Hunter end up casting so many games together, there's so many phrases. Yeah, weathering the storm. We go through phases with them as well. Player has found a trade in all of this. That's just like a thing I have to say. 11th hour, yep. What are the catchphrases? It's not time to play now. Saying way 20 times. Yeah, that bloody team name. Just can't. Many such cases. Yes, weather the storm. Squeaky bum time has faded a bit. That's a good one, actually. Robbed the bank. Yeah. Comes up trumps. Oh, there's one I keep doing right now. What is it? What is it? You picking up? Yeah, Hunter always repeats my last sentence as well. During the interviews, oh, yeah, I agree, Red Eyes. Like, I'm actually so bad at it. But bad at it? Bad at it. Oh, clear is in? Whew.
Did I scare you?
That, honestly, happy birthday, Prash. That one's so good, because that story is actually about my penis, not about Sideshow's penis. So because it was wrong, what's that law on the internet called? Where if you see wrong, the best way to get correct information on the internet is to provide wrong information. And then I feel compelled to correct you. Ah, actually, well played. Well played. Is this the first time clear is in? I see what you're doing here, no idea. I think this is Clear's first appearance then. Alright! Hell of a start, isn't it? Couple of cheeky frags in that opening one. It's going to be... Let's look at the ban. So a hazard ban for Shikigami, a Lucio ban in exchange for Nightmare. So it's going to be Juno Brig, Rambi Ram. Okay. seems reasonable enough, I guess, with the way meta's going. It's going to be Sombra, Pharah versus Tracer, Sojourn as well. Pharah pretty good on this first point. I don't know, I kind of expect Zero to maybe swap after this. It's a Bull swap from Solo, actually. So Bull a hero that we've seen probably more in Korean and other regions. I think for the most part. A lot of whether or not it is a Bull meta depends on how good your Bull player is right now. And I think in the West in particular, there's not as many high quality Bulls. Hack now onto Solo as he comes through onto the high ground, trying to put pressure onto Zero. Slam comes through, doesn't catch anything, and Solo has taken a lot of damage. Rolling out, resetting right now, but already up to 75% is Nightmare. Barrage ready to go as well. They don't even need him. They're just running over Danny at the time. They're chasing this, there's this Juno into the back. They can get touches out of this right now, but they are very split and scattered here, Shikigami. Solo gets slowed on point. Graveyard's actually killed Admiral in this sort of scrappy fight. They're still trying to deal with this Bull. Nightmare needs to be careful not to get pulled in too many directions at once, but that kill onto Drunk is going to help massively. Clear is just going to stay on the point right now. Wants to try and push the Ana. Barrage in the back to take care of Danny. And they've been pulled in a few different directions here, Nightmare, but they're just winning it on all fronts right now. Lethal's going to TP to chase down this kill, and surely this Juno's not getting out of it. There we go. Lethal will finish the job. Bit of help from Zero with that damage. Recall has now been forced. And actually, just going to keep going for it here. Nade comes out, catches Zero, but Zero and Lethal just running around, killing anyone they see. Lethal now has the EMP ready to go. Looking for his opportunity, is going to get detected. And will be forced to regroup with his team. Cloaks up again, looks for his next opportunity. Eyes on the backlight round, detected again, but goes for it. Virus doesn't connect. Defensive Nano onto Regime on that one as well. Well played by Graveyard for that. And EMP is countered by the defensive Nano. Drunk is going to catch Zero during this. A Ray on point to keep this push going. Damage here through onto them. Counter Ray comes through from UV. Rally from Admiral, but Bash is good as well. Ollie is in there. He is finding value. Now he comes back, packs UV. And they will clean up on point as well. Defensive Nano had to be used to survive the EMP, so Nightmare get left with a 2 support ops versus 1 support ops situation. And it's a Kiriko swap here from Regime. Tracer Sombra now from Nightmare. Seemed like they were pretty happy to get off that Pharah after first point. That's going to prompt the Kiriko swap. It's actually going to be a Kiriko Brig swap. I don't hate this. We don't see... Oh, no, it's going to be a swap again. Okay, Brig Juno. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded a Brig Kiriko. Why not? All right, roll through from Solo, looking for an opportunity. Mines is going to come out, actually, as well. Admiral's going to have to bash forward to avoid this. And Lethal is separated right now. Boots and move back. But Kufa's pushing with this Annihilation. Wildness has happened. And he's going to run straight into Lethal. Lethal has run into safety. Kufa will keep him alive. Separates himself now. And Lethal was actually already on another EMP. Charging up quickly as he kills Solo. Admiral walks. Admiral in the... Grow up! Grow up, Admiral! Grow up, Lethal! Ah. Classic London Spitfire coaching situation. That's not Kufa. Sorry, it's Clear. I'm so used to saying Kufa. Admiral and Lethal just walking into the mines, providing a little bit of a helping hand for Shikigami in this one. Sorry, I've not seen Clear play in so long. I just need to I just need to remember he exists. But I promise I will, Clear. I'm good for it. Lethal gets revealed on the way in. Just going to be forced to send a bit of spam out. Waiting for that next translocate. Cloaked up again. Detected one more time. Found his way back into Cloak. Now the EMP round the corner. Catches free. Survives immediately. They swing with the torpedoes at the same time. Rally is not enough from Graveyard to save him. And it's actually a Rally Jacks from Clear. Remember his name. UV gets traded in a Drunk by the back. Drunk's actually good for the entire backline right now, but Lethal is fighting this one. Disruptor shot out, just about wins that duel. Low on HP though here, so still more work Drunk can do, but punch in the face from Clear will seal it. Gets the cleanup kills. And there we go. Alright, one more round for Nightmare to close this out. Match point as well. Thank you, HUD, for the reminder. Graveyard onto the... It's back onto Ana Juno right now. That's probably off the back of the Sojourn swap from Zero, really. Think they can get with a greedier backline, keen to swap to it as soon as possible. The swaps mean they are just obviously resetting Graveyard top, but they have Ray to match UVs in this situation. The worry for him is if Clear gets this Annihilation, Admiral gets this Rally in the course of this Ray trade right now. Looking for it. Regime's going to start it off. 4% still for UV. Clear needs to full block as this comes through. UV will respond now. Lethal has been slept at somewhere in the back right there. Going to get naded. Doesn't get executed though, but Admiral dies just before Rally. Crucial pick from Danny, and now he's pushing the flank, looking for another opportunity. They're still trying to go forward. Clear has the Annihilation soon to try and turn this one in their favor. And oh, UV there. I mean, UV's actually so good with these aggressive swings. He just get punished for it. Ramatra trying to get in this health pack and recontest. They've actually lost the flip right now. Has another form to go. Pops the Annihilation. Either trying to push him off the map, trying to send some back shots into the way of Solo, but Fortified just prevent that. Not enough though when Zero's hitting you with the overclock from the other side. Stuck between two ults, and they do get the retake there despite losing a lot of people. Admiral is back now with the Rally ready to go. Difficult to be that aggressive with the Rally, just because Solo is close to this Terror Surge here. So we'll see how they choose to set it up. For now, Admiral was actually standing on Clear's position, so they might still be willing to go quite early. There we go. Yeah, Admiral's walking forward. They're looking for it really hard. Shikigami anticipates it. They try and rotate behind, but Graveyard still gets caught by the bash. The sleep is good by Graveyard. It's not enough to save his life. Might not be enough to save Regime's life there. There's a wall behind you. Supports have gone down, but Shikigami have flipped the point. This will mitigate the damage a lot. Solo actually hits the spear onto Lethal right now, causing a lot of problems. Can they find more trades? Drunk hits another pulse bomb back to back for him. Now behind Clear as well, trying to make this one difficult, but Ramatra is very good in these cleanup situations. Lethal will have to wait for his next cloak. Just staring at the butterflies now, trying to center himself before this big moment. 1 EMP versus 3 ultimates here. Graveyard on the sneak. Looking for a sleep. But the sneak sleep does not work. EMP into the backline now. Supports inside. It hits. Catches all of them. Deletes them as well. Centering himself on those butterflies pays dividends. And now Danny with a desperation overclock. But there is a ram all over him. Terror Surge is cancelled by the hack there as well from Lethal. And it'll be an easy one for Nightmare right now. Was the match point thing up the whole time? Oh yeah, it normally just pops up for like a second, I think, or like pops up to like draw your attention to it and remind you, and then it fades. All right, well, that was a game of Overwatch. My God, I'm gonna be in bed by 10 o'clock at this rate. Grow Up is my favorite one. I feel like I only use Grow Up as well when I'm genuinely annoyed. Grow Up is my genuinely annoyed go-to. How are the games today? 3-0s. Out of respect, I actually do out of respect too much. I do it a lot in real life as well. You know what? What I was thinking of one the other day. I used to work with this guy called Damien back when I worked at the Smart Meter place. And he always used to say, because obviously when we worked at the Smart Meter place, we worked for Capita. Maybe some people in the UK know Capita, but they're like a very typical sort of like IT support desk, like big corporate thing. So obviously there's a certain level of decorum and politeness. So what he would always say when someone pisses him off, or I don't know, one of the suppliers is just being difficult or something like this, he would always just, instead of saying anything, you know, a bit more controversial, he would always just say, oh, they should get in the C, or this guy should get in the C, or like something happens, yeah, that can go in the C. I always enjoyed that one. Just get, like, they should really get in the C, I think. You've said grow up to Python more than 5 times this week. Yeah, I've simping for that. I only use Python for one thing, basically, to make the VOD parser I used in British Hurricane. And it was the first time I ever coded anything. And it's also been the only thing I've not coded anything else since. Never want to code again. It was like, It was really hard. I mean, my dad is like a coder by trade. So like a lot of respect. I had respect for it anyway, but a newfound level of respect after experiencing it myself. I mean, it was satisfying once it was done, Nev, but I didn't enjoy the process. It's not for me, I don't think. Maybe I'm too old in life. I should have learned when I was younger, really. Since my dad was a programmer, maybe I could have been some kind of child prodigy. Instead, I played TF2. Was Super the only person involved with... Shaky, are you baiting me into a TF2 story? Are you baiting me into a TF2 story? Because I'll bait. There were loads of people in Overwatch League. There's loads of people in Overwatch League who are in TF2. I'm actually looking it up right now. Let's go to Season 1. Guys, I need so little encouragement. It's not even... The TF2 one isn't even fair. Because I need so little encouragement. 2018 regular season, I guess. Show rosters. So, all right, let's go through it, shall we? I think, yeah, Vars was a TF2 guy. I didn't really know him back then. Tavik, top TF2 player. Zebasai. Zebasai was a super nice guy. Loads of time for Zebo. Let's see. Clockwork. Jake was. Muma was. Boink was. Was Banny? Maybe he wasn't actually. One of those roster sizes. Welcome to the rich years. If you missed the start of Overwatch League, everyone had a 12-person roster. Let's see. Who was this? I think Janice was. Was Pine was as well, I think. I think Flower was as well, if people remember Flower. Flower was, but he wasn't old enough to play at the time. Shadowburn was... Wait, do you want to know a crazy thing? Do you want a crazy Shadowburn story? This isn't even a particularly, This is like a recent story. So, somebody offered me a job recently. An old friend from TF2. I said... I declined the job because it was like working for like a game company. I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying the streaming right now. I'm gonna do it. And apparently Shadowburn works there as well. So I actually turned down a job with Shadowburn within that was like 2 weeks ago or something. Small world, huh? Small world. Who else was there? What was the company? I actually don't know the company's name. It was just a friend. I think it was like a new games company. So I was like, I'm not kind of into all that. Happy with this. Taimu. I probably told you guys this before, but I used to be the first like big team I was on. I was just a backup player, and I was backup for Taimu. Anytime Taimu, couldn't play, I would fill his shoes. Seagull, of course, we mentioned already. Harry Hook. Am I missing anyone? Oh yeah, of course Numlock was. Of course Sebi Barton was. Was there anyone shot? Super was. I don't know. Was there anyone from on? I don't think so on Soul. No. And I don't know about most of these players, but I think no. Yeah, I mean that's not too bad as that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Could have had a whole team, eh? Players who used to play TF2. Yeah, I mean, there's probably more that have played TF2. Maybe particularly all the Koreans. I don't know all the Koreans. Because if I go to staff on some of these, I'm going to lose my lines, but none of them were. Mineral was a TF2 player. I used to play pickup games with Mineral all the time, and he moaned all the fucking time. He would complain. It was so frustrating to play with Mineral on Soldier. Just fucking complaining all the time. I think he matured and had grown a lot by the time he got to Overwatch League, but fuck me, was he a pain to play with back in the day. My god, I would hate being on his team. Tyrone was a big TF2 guy. Was Messer a TF2 guy as well? Am I remembering that right? Someone fact check me on that. I think Messer was. Don't know about the Korean coaches really. Pavan was a big TF2 guy. Obviously still around today, Pavan, on Crazy Raccoon. I don't think any of those were. No. Why do I know staff page for sure? I want to say no and no. Actual question. Oh wow, an actual question. Yeah, Pavan was TF2. Yeah, like, it was when I first got into... I'll get to your question too, but when I first got into Overwatch, it was quite funny because I was obviously like a proper nobody, like just trying to coach any team I could. But then I had follows from like a few of the Overwatch League people because I knew them from TF2. So I had like a weird set of connections, but connections that were too high for me just coming in, you know, as like a new coach. So, but I had like a Pavan follow from day one because he knew me from TF2. So he was like, oh, I know you. Yeah. Because there was never any really Korean teams who played LAN. But because I did the casting and stuff for TF2, they knew people like me, Sideshow Bren, they recognized because they would watch the big European and like North American games. And they'd see us yappering away. But what got me into into Overwatch originally, I played it a bit when it first came out, you know, new game, all of this. And then it was actually, I got a message from a guy I didn't know at the time, who was a TF2 player, but he knew me, again, from the casting. Oh, thank you, Tillakill. Saying that right, I think, yeah, Tillakill. So I got a message from a guy, who asked me, hey, my team's really struggling a little bit right now. Would you like to coach my team? And that team would go on to become... I don't know why I'm doing a big reveal. That team went on to be Sydney Drop Bears. Face asked me to coach his team, even though I'd never coached a team or anything before, because he knew I was regarded as a pretty smart fella, I guess, in old TF2. So Face asked me if I wanted to coach the team. The problem being, though, I had a full-time job at the time. Do you remember Chrono Dota? Yes. But I had a full-time job at the time, so I couldn't do the hours because their scrims would start at 7 AM for me, which meant I had to go to work. So then Face, who was the main support at the time on the team, Face is the LA Gladiators coach, for those who don't know. Face then benched himself to get a better main support in and coach the team himself, but he had me and any TF2 heads are here. It was actually, he got me and Cadus on board as kind of like analysts slash assistant coaches. He just kind of wanted smart people around him. But Cadus didn't really ever get involved that much. He went on to coach Valorant instead. But yeah, then I stuck around, met other people, stuck around with Face, and obviously turned out Face was a pretty good person to meet that day. But I guess all comes from Face recognizing me from TF2, really. I mean, it's classic nepotism, honestly.
And it was just me. Like it was
as one of the coaches for Amplify, I guarantee an Amplify W. Thank you, Night Night. All right, I'm hoping for it. I would like to see a big result today.
something
networking.
like that. I like
Fuck you,
that.
Chris.
There's not much more to it.
Oh, thank you, Ayua.
It was a good name,
Art of
to be honest.
phone.
Honestly, I just thought it was a cool name.
It is.
Phoner time right now.
I know I'm a fan of it, but obviously you're a content creator with Amplifier, but you
Time for her to lock in.
Yourself. Tell us a little bit about that,
mm.
and I guess what the totality of your.
How much time until the next match? Probably like 5-10 minutes at most. It's kind of like a rolling schedule.
Overwatch in 2019.
Um,
doing a lot of grassroots
Come on,
stuff,
guys.
doing
How did you become assistant coach to
trials
Chris?
and-
I was actually, I was on London Spitfire before. I got promoted from the academy team in season 4 with a lot of the players as well. Obviously, we don't talk about that season. We don't talk about that season. Things didn't go great. So basically, we were all out of contract at the end of the year. Mine was a rolling contract. Was it? Maybe it was actually. I wasn't like technically out of contract, but they had the option to like end my contract if they wanted to. So they signed a head coach first. Oh wait, what was the order? I think actually Nuki maybe said she was happy to keep me. So cheers, Nuki. And then she asked, "Who do you think should be in for next year?" And I was like, Chris was like top of my list. Chris and Face have been top of my list. Chris, Face, Hunter every time. Every time, who do you want to work with? Who should be the coach for this team? Chris, Face, Hunter. Chris was available. Face and Hunter on like better deals at the time, but Chris was available. Then Chris was up for the job, and then Nuki kind of checks, is like, you'd be happy to work with CommanderX again, blah 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 blah, and Chris was like, sure, and I guess the rest is history.
Them, just 2 months ago, and then we get the OWCS quals. And, I mean,
was that from Team UK? Yeah, yeah.
They get that big map 5 win
Team
over
UK was before I went into Overwatch League, but that was when me and Chris first met.
That's been introduced in 25, where we have,
and yeah, from the Overwatch World Cup. The way I got into the Overwatch World Cup, because obviously, if everyone remembers from a previous Overwatch World Cup, you would do nominations and votes, right, for the 3 positions: for general manager, for head of socials, or like head of community or something, and the head coach. So Stylosa won like general manager. Bad Patch Amari won like the head of content. And Hayes won head coach. So Hayes and Chris worked on Philadelphia Fusion at the time. So Hayes gets Chris in immediately as an assistant coach. And then they do an open trial to all young and upcoming UK coaches. And I thought, young, upcoming, that sounds like me. That sounds like me. Oh no, Bad Patch Mari was head of content, like social media and this kind of promotion stuff. So I went through the trial, and I just smoked all the competition with my incredible coaching. I mean, honestly, I don't think it was that hard. Loads of people dropped out. I was really surprised so many people dropped out. But that World Cup was like the jump off point. I met so many like good contacts. It's where I met Nuki. Chris and Hayes recommended me for the British Hurricane job. So without passing that trial, without getting in there, I think everything looks super different, Did you have hair back then? Yes.
So great.
Yeah.
So great to see the journey of all these players, and now the best.
Do you have any interest in becoming an official caster and talent in the future? Yeah, like for me, I've always enjoyed casting. I used to do it. I used to do it in TF2. Not to get onto TF2 again, any chance? Oh wait, let me sidebar quickly. Sidebar. Stylosa was a fucking incredible GM. Absolutely incredible GM. He got so much stuff for us. He got us a free 1-week boot camp in London. Absolutely unbelievable from Stylosa. Great guy, good laugh. Took us out for dinner. Unbelievable. Nothing but good things to say about Stylosa. Like, actually popped off so hard. Yeah. Yeah, at a Red Bull gaming arena in London, near St. Pancras. Absolutely unbelievable work from him. Sorry, what was I saying? Casting, yeah. Yeah, I'd be super up for casting officially. I used to cast all the time in TF2. Some people will be hearing the story again maybe, but originally when I came into Overwatch, I was doing some like analyst work for Face, for Sydney Drop Bears, but I was also interested in casting, and I kind of had a background from TF2. So this is before Overwatch League, right? So before Overwatch League, I've not really casted any Overwatch, but then I get a message from a guy called, I want to say Procyon was his alias. His name was Procyon, and he was. Do people know Assembly in Finland? It's like a gaming LAN in Finland, you know. Overwatch, CS, all the normal ones. So I was invited to Assembly to cast the Overwatch, my first casting gig. And then I was talking to Procyon. He was like, I don't think he was the owner. I think honestly, I can't remember exactly, but he was like part owner in Ents, like, you know, big time Finnish businessman type thing, you know, like important guy. He showed me around, and he told me at the time I was on a fucking list. And normally when you are told you are on a list, this is bad news. But when I was told I was on this list, this was a good list to be on. It was a short list, a short list for casting Overwatch League. Right? A short list for casting Overwatch League. And he said, Blizzard have given out a short list for people they might think are like, they want for Overwatch League from all these different games. And what they want to do is they've told a lot of tournament organizers, places like Assembly, here's the short list. Can you hire some of these casters so we can essentially test them out, you know? Can we see how good they are? So that's why I got the gig. And I had a lovely time in Finland. Great LAN. Everyone's super good. I got to meet loads of the CS talent. You guys would have heard me talk about it before, but I actually love CS esports. It's such a good watch. The talent there is like, it's the best in the world. Best in the world in esports. So I got to meet like a bunch of them. Like, do people know Natu? Lurpis was there as well. So it was really great to meet people who are like established professionals and sort of pick the brain, as it were, you know? So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But then I never heard anything. So I don't even know if the list was real. I'll keep it frank with you. Maybe the list wasn't real. Maybe I was just shit. It's possible. I mean, this cast is going to be online. If someone has time, does someone want to give me a casting review? It's a little bit old now, a bit late for the feedback. I mean, I was told there was a list. Let me see. What year would it have been? 2018? Overwatch. Oh! We've been on this one before. There he is! There I am! Hold on, I'll give you the link. Alright, someone tell me if my casting was any good back in the day. Have I got better or worse? Are we trending up, trending down? You had hair. Guys, I wasn't bald until like 2020 or something. It was most of my life I've had hair. The hair is trending down. Thanks, Ayua. Very astute of you. When did I get a wig? Not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, 100% Ellen, like...
Mitch did phenomenal.
Oh, let me turn it. I don't know why I turned it up. 100%, if I could go back in time, the thing I would change about my hair is we are going bold sooner. We are going bold sooner.
Of course, we'll be rating your channel at the end of the show. Where can people find you in the meantime? And
those bastards stole his hair. Left it in Finland, you know.
Yes, Twitch TV./Bullskunk. I'm streaming Face It League 4 to 5 days a week.
Did you meet our fiance before or after her hair? Long before. Long before. It's our anniversary tomorrow, actually, of when we started dating. How fitting around Valentine's Day, our first official date. But that would be... Fuck, so important I get this right. It's so important I get this right. 12 years. 12 years tomorrow.
I want a rematch. I think I could do better than
your anniversary is tomorrow too? Oh, good on you. Spending the anniversary watching Overwatch? Yes. Didn't you say 13 yesterday? Fuck. Don't gaslight me like this. I'm pretty sure it's 12.
Thank you.
She'll know the answer. I'll have to reverse engineer it.
You are most welcome. Jack will be rated at the end of the day. For now,
I got to play against you and earlier in the Dreamlight tourney. It was very interesting, especially reviewing and seeing how he played everything. Oh, that's cool, actually. How did it go in the end? I didn't get a chance to watch any of it. Caught up in OWCS and all that, but... Who won that assembly you casted? I think it was just Giganti, right? I think it was only... No, wait. Was it Samson Morningstars? I think Samson caused a big upset. And do you know... Oh, good shout, good shout.